many years, I was involved in a faith-based rehabilitation program. I served on the board of directors and taught a lot of classes there. And I walked alongside a lot of women who gained their sobriety, and they fought for their sobriety, and they fought to get custody of their children back and to get everything to start rebuilding their lives. And they would leave the program, unfortunately, to relapse, because the problem was there was no support after the program, and they didn't have support in rebuilding their lives and navigating all of the systems. So in 2018, several of our very good friends relapsed, and we just knew that God was calling us to do something different. And one of the, at first I thought it was a different way to do rehab, but after I started praying about it, I realized that's not what God was calling us to do. He was calling us to be the step after rehab or step after prison. Our holistic program has been designed to assist our residents in several areas. We found that one of the biggest barriers was finding a livable wage job. So we've partnered with another program to help with job training that'll help them have a livable wage job when they leave. They need to develop a healthy support system that can mentor them and guide them and walk alongside them, and a new set of friends, because who you hang around with is what your life looks like. We also put a lot of emphasis on discovering their hobbies, because they don't know who they are when they're not in addiction. And we want to expose them to as many different hobbies as possible, because we never know what's going to resonate with them and what they're going to stick with. We want them to further their education. We want every woman to leave with at least their GED if they don't have that. And we want them to learn life skills. Budgeting is a huge life skill that we focus on throughout the program. Most importantly, we have the women connect with God, and that's going to be the true foundation of their transformation. So we do a lot of studies that they just that really work on transforming their lives, and then we also provide access to professional counseling that addresses substance use disorder and trauma counseling, because substance use disorder doesn't happen without there being some kind of trauma in their background. Isaiah 61 has been the foundational verse for our ministry. What Isaiah prophesies Jesus was going to do for humanity is what we feel that Redeeming Grace Ministries is called to do for the women we serve: to preach good news to the poor, bind up the brokenhearted, proclaim freedom for the captives, release from darkness for the prisoners, provide comfort for all who mourn, provide for those who grieve, bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, a garment of praise instead of despair. Instead of their shame, they will receive a double portion, and instead of disgrace, they will rejoice in their inheritance, and their descendants will be known among the nations. It's about redemption, and we get a front row seat to redemption, and that's why it's named Redeeming Grace, is because there's so much grace that redeems the women, and that's what we get to see. And we are so humbled and honored to see Christ's resurrection power working in the lives of women that we serve. I think a lot of times I look at it as there's so much weight. They are carrying these boulders of just these big, heavy things in their lives, and they are just pulling them behind them, and they're navigating all these twists and curves, and you know what? It'd be really easy to give up. So that's what we feel like Redeeming Grace. We've been called to walk alongside them as they rebuild their lives. For the women coming to us in the future, we just want them to know how loved they are and how worthy they are, and that they are so cherished, and that we are ready for them. We're ready to bring them home.